to get those adjustments made quickly. Flag is up. And we have a start in our opening heat of the men's varsity 8 at the 2025 Eastern Sprints.
Harvard 46 strokes a minute. Yale punching it hard at 42.5. Syracuse at 48, right there with the leaders. Very high rate for Syracuse.
Well, again, I think Syracuse is going to come into this knowing that they have one of the least favorable seedings against Yale and Harvard, so they're going to have to punch it in this early stage of the race to keep on terms and not lose too much ground against these higher seeded crews early on.
Well, Harvard's been the top dog in the East this year, so it's expected that they would have a good start. Looks like Harvard and Yale are right out in front at this race. It's Yale by half a deck coming into the 500 over Harvard. Harvard almost a half a boat length over Syracuse, with Columbia and Georgetown trailing.
Yeah, it's awfully tight at the front of the field. Just the advantage going to Yale as we come across that 500-meter mark, but I think we should expect Harvard to come on very strongly in this middle 1,000 meters. You know, if we can get a low shot of this Harvard crew from the drone potentially, it would be great to see the rowing in this Harvard boat. You know, going back and watching race results throughout the season from this crew, they're coached so beautifully. Really getting to see up close how they execute the rowing stroke and how effective it is, especially in this middle section of the race, is really, really special. I think this has been a really fun crew and a really fun team to watch this season.
Well, Harvard has settled in at 38, and Yale has settled in at 39, so there's nobody's backing off right now.
Oh, no time to back off in this opening heat of the varsity 8. All to play for in order to advance into the A final.
Syracuse at 38. Yale just about has a boat length over Syracuse in the second and final qualifying position, while Harvard has taken a third of a length over Yale into first place. So it's starting to string out a little bit in the expected order of seedings.
Yeah, and we're just starting to see Harvard move out now, really establish more seats over Yale as we're coming through the middle section of the race. Just continuing to grow that lead across the halfway mark for the Crimson. It's a half a boat length or more for Harvard over Yale. Syracuse maintaining some overlap with Yale, but I think the momentum is with our two lead crews, Harvard and Yale at this stage, and Syracuse just finding the pace a little bit hot in that middle lane and continuing just to drop back off of this Yale crew. But nice contest that we're seeing at the bottom of the screen. These two crews from Georgetown and Columbia really evenly matched there. I think they will probably end up taking it all the way to the line here in this Hoya crew against this Columbia crew, because almost nothing to call between them at this stage for positions 4 and 5.
Well, Harvard's down to 38, and Yale's gotten down to 36 strokes a minute. Syracuse somewhere probably in between those two.
Here's that shot of the Harvard crew that I was hoping for. Can really just see how effective they are through the water. They create this wonderful space for themselves for the handle to turn around at the back of the stroke and really let the boat work for them around the back. It looks like it's a lot of fun to row. I kind of wish I could take a ride in there. But there they go, leading out this opening heat of the men's varsity 8. Yale trailing.
In case you didn't know that it was Harvard, the coxswain has a giant billboard-sized H on his back to indicate what's going on. Harvard looks like they're taking some pretty simple catches, very nice, smooth rhythm. Harvard a little, Yale perhaps a little bit punchier at the catch end. Still good boat speed, both of those two well out in front of the pack. Syracuse still fighting, hoping to get back on terms with a qualifying spot, but they're at 38 strokes a minute, trying to use a little bit of stroke rate at the end to get back into it.
Well, and I want to keep pulling some attention to our crews in 4th and 5th place position, because the battle that we have going on between Georgetown and Columbia is critical for advancement into one of 2 finals. 4th place position advancing into the B final, and 5th place into the C final. So those crews will take it all the way to the line to determine their final race for later today. But here we go. There's your race leader, Harvard. At the bottom of your
very
picture.
efficient. That is a very efficient looking crew for Harvard. Harvard and Yale will meet again after the IRA for a 4-mile race to end their season. So we'll see this one a number of times during the rest of the year.
Yeah, Syracuse throwing everything at it now as we're coming into the final strokes to see what they can do to close this gap. I think it's a little bit too late for the Orange, because here you go. There's your 1-2. Harvard and Yale led this race really all the way down the track. Great effort from Syracuse, but not quite enough today to get themselves